Hey guys, how you doing? Minasan konnichiwa, my name is Cheese and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be reacting to Fire Force or炎炎ノ消防隊 Season 2 Episode 17. You know what I realized recently? That like in total, I've already reacted to more than 40 episodes of Fire Force. More than 40! And that's like the longest I've reacted to a show so far, you know? Like even Karakuri Circus was not that long. It had like 36 episodes, but it didn't reach 40, you know? This is the first show I've reacted to on my channel that I watched like over 40 episodes. It's crazy! Even in season 2, like we're getting quite far, like we're still in the middle of that whole Hajima arc. That's what I call it at least, because it all plays out at Hajima Industries. Even though there's a lot more involved, you know, the Evangelist group is back, we discovered the sixth pillar, so there's a lot going on, and things have gotten a little bit messy, you know, with team-ups here and there. It became, like, harder to describe who is fighting against who, you know what I mean? Like, it got a little bit messy, but not in a bad way, you know, I like this messiness, so I'm very excited to see how the story's gonna continue, so yeah, without further ado, let's just hop right into the episode, so let's go! Alright, I'm ready, so I'm gonna start the episode in 3, 2, 1, go. This moment was amazing. Arthur never disappoints, you know? Oh yeah. Yeah, I really wonder what's gonna happen to Nataku, you know? He's already like so... You know, like physically... No, psychologically damaged, you know what I mean? It's also something I mentioned in the previous episode, but I just don't think that he can recover completely from it. So, I had hope at least that he gets rescued by Unit 8. And that he doesn't get taken away by the Evangelist group or Hajima. Oh yeah. What's her name? Ritsu, I think, right? Her power is crazy. Boys, be weak. Okay, interesting title. Yes! You know, this is what I mean, for example, you know, if you don't really know anymore who is fighting against who, like how KURONO is protecting Shinra, but technically it wouldn't really make sense, but just because he's a protector of the pillars. Oh yeah, the Adola link. And 87 is still not bad. Oh, damn. my god, that symbolism. This is just so sad, you know, and I even thought that he just had a normal childhood, but even before he got taken by Haijima, he already was like having so much pressure at home. Uh-oh. Ooh. Even Karon is surprised by this. Yeah. It's still too close. Yeah, now it's really up to Shinra, you know. Through the Adola link, he has to do something. Karon, what's he gonna do? Oh no, 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 no. Please, don't ruin this moment for me, you know? Oh my god. He's doing all the work. If something happens to him, I'm done. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Boom. Ah. I thought the moon was gonna be destroyed, but luckily not. But thank God. I seriously thought he was gonna die or something, you know? That's what he was worried about? Oh. Now we're gonna see Kurono serious. Oh my god, this episode was so hype already with CHARON, but now with Kurono as well. Don't get any stronger. Through the middle. He really gets to get rid of that voice of Reka inside his head. Oh. Even though Kurono's way of thinking is quite twisted, like at this moment, right? This moment, it might be the words that will save him, you know? Exactly. Oh, see? Exactly. Oh, he's gonna be his protector. no. Oh my god. Why does she get like creepy every time I see her? Arthur's like, I did a good job. Oh, but the battle's over. It's not destroyed though. Oh. Yeah. Interesting duo indeed. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, he's admitting that they were planning to kill Victor. Actually, it isn't. Okay, they're really getting straight to the point, you know, they're sharing everything they found already. Indeed. What kind of game is he playing even? it doesn't work like that, but... Yes. Vulcan. Yes. Vulcan. Yeah, he has the muscles. His eyes are glistening. Oh my god. Those are like the big brothers of the group, right? Ugh. Interesting. Exactly. They only want profit. And like until this point, like the ultimate way for them to gain profit was to create a second Amaterasu, and for that they just needed to sacrifice one person. At least like that was how they were thinking. But now a possible new solution came in, which is Vulcan. So yeah. Oh, he's so cute when he's blushing. Ah. This show sometimes gets me like so warm inside, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like so typically shonen anime, but it still always gets me, you know? Like that moment in which Vulcan and Obi were saying, yeah, we won't let Sheena get sacrificed. We will protect him. It's like so generic, but it gets me like still, you know? It's so good. So it's like Vulcan and Obi are like the big brothers of the group. Or like Obi's more like the dad, but Vulcan is really like the big brother, right? Oh, I love those two. Alright, so that was episode 17 of the second season of Fire Force, and yeah, that was a great episode. Like, the beginning was super hype, with CHARON and KURONO dealing with that giant infernal. It's not how I expected things would end, you know? Honestly, like, when CHARON came in and tried to deflect that huge attack, I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna die. I thought he was gonna use up all his power to save everyone, but like sacrifice his own life as a result, you know? And there were like so many red flags going around. They even showed a little flashback, you know? And he even said like, oh, I can see my life flashing by. I was like, no, no, don't kill Charon. Oh, he's like the only person from the Evangelist group that I generally really like. So if they kill him off, I'm done. Like, I don't care about all the other people from the Evangelist group. I said that how Mia is growing on me. Like, she's one of the only people that I kinda like. But the others, I don't care about them at all. Like, Inca, she's getting crazier and crazier every single time. And I just don't follow her. Like, she has this most messed up way of thinking. And I don't know. Like, also the other members as well. Like, how Mia is also kind of crazy. But it's also crazy. So even like when Charon was like sacrificing himself for that attack, they were all just watching and like, yeah, let him do everything, you know, and they even were walking away. I was like, wait, where's like the team spirit, you know? They don't have anything like that. They really just see Charon as like their dog who's there to protect them, but they don't see him as like a friend or a comrade at all, you know? That's just like this difference between the Fire Force and the Evangelist group, right? But that Charon moment was just so great. I love Charon. He is like really climbed up my ladder of like favorite people in this show. Like, I love everyone from Unit 8. Like, it's hard to get into that same level of likeliness, but Charon is definitely there. Like, he's just as likable as all the other members from the Unit 8. I love him. And I just feel bad for him. Like, he's like giving us everything to protect all these pillars, but like he gets nothing in return, you know? Like, no one cares about him. So I actually feel kind of sad for him. So eventually, like, I just hope he gets on the good side, because I feel like in that way he gets like a lot more appreciated and gets to live a better life, I feel like. But then we shifted towards KURONO, who actually ended the entire fight. Like, he did it so effortlessly. You know, with the one sword, he just cut up that entire inferno like it was paper. And, like, the words he said to Nataku actually reached him. Unlike what Shinra said. Like, even with the Adola link, Shinra couldn't get through him. Because of that, Nataku got even more defensive, you know. He's like, don't get into me, don't go inside me, you know. That can also trigger some defensive mechanisms, you know? So that was really interesting. It was really like the opposite of all the positive influences the Adola Link had in previous fights, you know? For example, the battle between Shinra and Sho. In that fight, the Adola Link really helped them connect with each other and really understand each other. That was the first time like Sho and Shinra got reconnected as brothers, you know, through the Adola Link. And also during the previous arc in that expedition, it was thanks to Shinra's Adola Link with the woman in black that they could get out of that situation as well, you know what I mean? So, like in previous fights, the Adola Link really has helped out, but in this fight, it really was the contrary, you know? It even triggered Nataku even more. And it all had to do with his backstory as well. It was really interesting. I didn't even think that his home situation was also not really happy, you know? Like, he was put under a lot of pressure by his parents. And I know how that feels. I feel like most kids from Asian families know what it feels like to have parents with high expectations. So I've been through that as well. Like, as a kid, even though it was not that extreme, like my parents didn't show it. They didn't show like disappointment when I didn't get high results, but it was more like the pressure I put on myself. I always felt like I had to prove them that I was good, that I was smart. So that's why I always tried so hard at school, with everything, you know. And at some point that really took a toll on me. Like, I've been through some mental breakdowns, you know, that the pressure was just too high, that I just felt like I couldn't prove any more to my parents. So I remember like one day I was just sitting with my parents eating dinner. You could see that I was really stressed out. Like, my skin looked horrible. I had like acne all over. So my parents saw that. They were like, you look horrible. Like, is something up, you know? And when they asked that, like my tears came pouring down, you know, like I couldn't hold my emotions back anymore. Like I just had an outburst, like all the frustrations and pressures that I kept inside all just came out at once. And that was like the first time I probably told my parents that how I actually felt, you know, that I couldn't deal with all the pressures they put on me. I felt like I never could make them proud. I actually clearly remember that moment, and seeing this episode made me remember that moment as well. Like I could really relate to Nataku. Like I've been through that as well. I think a lot of people have been through that. It's hard. Like for me it wasn't that extreme. Like my parents never, they were probably very proud. Like they just didn't really show it. They never showed that they were disappointed in me, but they also didn't really show that they were proud of me either. So I just put a lot of pressure on myself basically. But I've been through those moments. I have my own outbursts. So seeing this, I thought I was looking at my old self, you know, so it's sad. And even on top of that, he's been like mindfucked by Rekka, by the Hajime, all these experiments, you know, it's made me completely crazy. So I hope he can get through this. And surprisingly, KURONO of all people was the one who brought him back, you know, who could calm him down. Because of KURONO's twisted way of thinking, you know, only KURONO could do that. Like, because he prefers his opponents to be weak as possible, right? Like, he doesn't like strong people, so that's also like the only reason he told Nataku, like, yeah, just stay weak because then I can still bully you. Which in itself is actually a really twisted way of thinking, right? But for Nataku, that was like words that really saved him. He was like, I don't have to prove myself anymore. I don't have to show that I'm strong anymore. Like, he doesn't expect anything from me, so it's okay if I stay weak. So those words actually saved him. So like they said, like this is like a really unique duo who surprisingly suit each other very well, which I didn't even think of, you know. So far, like Unit 8 has always been the solution, you know, the ones who try to save people. But in this case, it was like a completely different character who managed to solve the entire situation, which is really interesting. And then at the end, when Nataku had to have another fight with KURONO for the experiments, he was actually quite nervous. But then KURONO once again said, like, yeah, you can stay weak. You can stay nice and weak like a kid. So when he was blushing after that, I was like, oh, that was just so cute. Yeah. This episode was great. It had like these hype moments, you know, with CHARON, with KURONO. And then after that, that whole discussion with Hajime. By the way, I also want to talk about that as well, because that was also very interesting. We had this discussion with the director of Hajime, the one who always plays these old school games. It's really interesting. Like, Obi, Shina, Victor, they really went like straight to the point. They just threw out every information they had, what they found out, and they just directly asked whether they were related or not. And the director also gave directly an answer to that. So it seemed like they don't have any connection with the Evangelist, and those are like the answers they came for originally, right? But then when Shina asked about what their motivation is behind creating Adalaburst, they said it was to create a second Amaterasu. Which is of course very triggering, which means that they need another human sacrifice. And like, I can understand that for some reason. Like, they are the biggest company, right? Who support the lives of almost every person who lives there. For them it's like an easy math problem, right? If they can save like 15,000 people with just one life, yeah, of course, a company like that would just go for it. Just one sacrifice against 15,000, that's nothing. But morally, you know, it's quite difficult. And even when Shina was asked that question, like, would you sacrifice yourself for 15,000 people? Even Shina said, like, yeah, I would do that if my life can save 15,000 people. But then Obi stopped him, and I was like, no, Shina, you're not gonna sacrifice yourself. Like, if you stay alive, you can save even more than 15,000 people, perhaps, you know? So I was like, yes! And then when Vulcan came barging in, oh my god, that was amazing. He even said, like, yeah, I'm gonna create a power generator even stronger than the Amaterasu that doesn't even need a human sacrifice. It's like, yes. And what I found especially interesting was when Vulcan came in and said that he would do that. We saw like the life coming back into the director's eyes. Like he had this dead eyes the whole time. When he was talking about the reasoning behind the Amaterasu, the fact that they use human sacrifices, he just said it like out of logic only. But then when Vulcan came in, we saw his eyes glinting, and I was like, okay, he still has like human feelings, you know? I think like deep down he doesn't want to do it this way either. Of course he wants profit. But the idea and the possibility that there might be another solution to generating power, just the idea that there might be a possibility or someone who's willing to try that probably made him a bit excited, you know? So that was very interesting. So I really like that, you know? Obi and Vulcan with Sheena like in the middle. Like he was just standing there with his dad and Big Brother beside him, and they were both like, yeah, we'll protect him. Like I said, I'm just so weak for those kind of moments. It was great. This whole episode was great. I loved it. But yeah, I guess this is the end of the Hajime arc. So I don't know what we'll be covering next, but I'm very excited. So that was my reaction to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you can see my other reaction videos, feel free to check out my channel and subscribe. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.